before.
Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water.
Those were among the last words that Debra Stevens would ever hear. Those words were said by a 911 operator who was working her last shift. What happened? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to True 911 Calls. In today's special, we examine emergency calls gone wrong and their aftermath. Today we're going to be talking about an early morning 911 call between a frantic victim's circumstance and a callous 911 operator. The ending was as tragic as it was avoidable. Before we continue, please be sure to like this video. As well, please, do subscribe to stay up to date with all the great content that we are putting out. One last thing before we continue, please be advised that this video has to do with real-life people in real-life situations. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
911, where's your emergency?
I have an emergency, a severe emergency. I'm in a flooding. My car veered off the road while I was doing my newspapers, and I'm flooded over here on the end of Kincaid.
That is how Debra Stevens began the frantic final phone call of her life. It was 4:38 in the morning of August 24th, 2019, when Debra was out delivering papers in her Fort Smith, Arkansas community. Unfortunately, she had chosen to do this during a torrential downpour. On the other end of the call was Donna Renault. Donna was working her final shift as a police dispatcher. She had decided to leave the job.
Dark, it's gray SUV, lady. The water's all the way up to my windows.
Okay, hold on for me. Don't hang up.
And it's coming in my windows. I mean, I'm floating in water right now, ma'am.
In the darkness of the early morning, Debra had made the wrong turn down a street. Unfortunately, she didn't realize how high the water was until it was too late.
Debbie Stevens, please help me. I don't want to die.
You're not going to die. Hold on for me.
Well, I'm scared. I'm sorry. I didn't know the water. I couldn't see the water. When I came up on it, man, it just all of a sudden hit me.
Her nerves were so frayed that Debra can be heard apologizing to the woman that she had called for help.
How long is it going to be, man? My son's going to die, and I can't charge it. It's going to get wet. It's all the way up. It's all the way up to my neck almost.
Okay, hold on for me.
Less than a minute after the call began, Debra was understandably in tears as she asked how long it would be.
I said, hold on for me.
Oh, God, please help me. Lord, please help me. I don't want to die.
Miss Debbie, I need you to calm down and hold on, okay?
The operator had attempted to gather more information, sounding detached from the situation as she attempted to calm a terrified Debra. Meanwhile, Debra was becoming more and more frantic, scared, alone in her car as the water was in and rising to her chest. She had called 911 scared and desperately hoping for help.
Scared, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm scared. I need the cops to come get me. I need somebody to help me. I'm scared.
Are you the only one in the vehicle?
Less than a minute later, the 911 operator attempts to give instructions to Debra.
Listen to me. Listen to me. If you're doing the paper, you got to know at least a little bit of where you are.
I can do this paper right over here, ma'am.
It's impossible to say if the seemingly callousness in the 911 operator's voice. Perhaps it was due to it being her last day on the job, or perhaps it was just a detached tone that 911 operators take to put some emotional distance between themselves and real-life situations that they encounter.
Do you see?
There's an apartment, because all I see is an apartment. I don't know the names of any of these apartments over here.
What does the apartment complex look like?
I can't see them, but man, there's two separate apartment complexes, one on the right and one on the left.
Okay, I'm going to send somebody out there to you, okay?
It was shy of 3.5 minutes into the call before the operator had gathered enough information to send help.
I just know there's two separate apartments over there.
She's not sure. Listen to me. Listen to me.
It is agonizing to hear the terrified Debra talk to the operator. It has to be stated at this point that the operator speaking to Debra was doing what she could to help. Meanwhile, Debra had spotted some people who seemingly could have helped, but for reasons unknown, never did.
Like a bunch of trees.
Okay, I'm going to send somebody out there to you, okay?
What? It's getting up to me. I'm scared. How long is it going to take?
I don't have an office.
Less than a minute later, Debra once again asks how long it will be, as her newspapers floated around her in her car.
Please help me.
For whatever reason, Debra's fear was met with the following response.
Listen to me. I need you to calm down and hold on.
I'm just scared, man.
I understand that you're scared, but there's nothing I can do sitting in a chair, so you're going to have to hold on, and I'm going to send you somebody, okay?
Okay. Oh. Hello?
Hold on, I'm still here. Hold on.
Debra again pleads for help, afraid of what may happen if she is not reached in time by rescue personnel. The terror in her voice is evident with every syllable she utters.
Lights on the side where they can see me.
Yeah.
Can you tell me how long it's going to be, ma'am? It's getting higher, ma'am.
Ma'am, I understand that you're scared and I know the water level is getting high, but I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, because I'm going to die.
You're not going to die. You're going to be fine.
The detachment and 911 operator Donna Renault's voice is evident as Debra is looking for some reassurance. It was just seconds after that, Donna, the 911 operator, had said something inexplicably rude to the woman who was asking her for help.
Somebody save me.
Am I not on the phone with you trying to get you some help?
I wish I could tell you that the 911 operator's tone had changed after that, but as you can probably imagine, it didn't.
Hey, I'm sorry.
You're not going to die. I don't know why you're freaking out. It's okay. I know the water level is
I'm
high.
scared.
I understand that, but you freaking out doing nothing but losing your oxygen up in there. So just...
Once again, you can hear a terrified Debra apologize to the 911 operator, when just seconds later, Debra is told,
You're going to die. I don't know why you're freaking out. It's okay. I know the water...
and as if that wasn't bad enough, just a few seconds later, as Debra mentions being afraid that her phone is going to die.
I'm going to die, and they're not going to find me, and it's going to ruin my brand new phone.
Do you really care about your brand new phone? I mean, you're over there crying for your life. Who cares about your phone?
I need to get out. I need to throw up. I need to throw up right now.
Well, then you're in water. You can throw up. It's not going to matter. If you got throw up on yourself, they'll still help you.
A moment later, a terrified Debra asked the operator to pray with her.
Will you pray with me, please?
You go ahead and start off the prayer, and I'll listen to you. I sure will.
That act of compassion was seemingly short-lived, however. In her state of panic, Debra mentions being afraid that her new SUV was going to be ruined by the floodwaters around her.
My vehicle is ruined.
Yeah, but it's better that your vehicle is ruined than you being swept away and nobody knows where you are. So just stay on the phone with me, okay? Fire department coming out to you, so just hold on, okay?
Thank you. I'm sorry if I'm rude, but...
The 911 operator let Debra know that the police and fire department are on the way. Debra once again apologizes for being rude. As she sat in an SUV with water up to her chest, the lights of her SUV were on and her phone dying. It was just seconds later that the 911 operator had said one of the most reprehensible things ever recorded. Keep in mind that this operator is sitting in a dry call center. She said to the following to a terrified woman, alone in an SUV that is filling with water.
Things like this happened to me before.
Well, this will teach you next time. Don't drive in the water.
For whatever reason, Donna felt her job at the moment was to lecture Debra about making a wrong turn in the dark. Debra stated many times during the call that she cannot swim, a fact which only added to her terror. The operator made her own suggestion to help Debra.
Scary. Because I can't swim.
I think even though you can't swim, I think you can still stand up in this. How tall are you?
You can once again hear the callousness in the operator's voice as Debra tells the operator how tall she is.
It's higher than me.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I'm only 5 foot tall.
Okay, well, you're not 3 foot, so you'll be just fine.
As the call continued, a frantic Debra explained that she was not able to see any rescue personnel.
The officer, ma'am?
No, I don't see nobody, ma'am.
10-4. It's going to be a gray
My windows
SUV.
are fogged up. I got my lights on, but I don't see nobody.
Do you hear the fire trucks?
I'm rushing water, ma'am. I can't hear nothing.
During the course of the call, the 911 operator had attempted to coordinate with both Debra and the emergency crews. Near the end of the call, the 911 operator lets out an audible sigh before saying the following.
Miss Debbie, you're going to have to shut up, okay? I need you to
I'm
listen.
sorry.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
10-4. Can you start your... Can you...
Donna, the 911 operator, tells the terrified Debra to shut up as the 911 operator attempts to get more information out of her. You could clearly hear the frustration in the operator's voice. However, that frustration was nothing compared to the feeling of terror held by the woman on the other end of the phone. The sudden shock of additional terror was captured on the call. Donna's car was starting to move. This was met with more indifference from the operator.
I can start to move. Oh, man, my car's starting to move, please.
Okay, listen to me. I know. I'm trying to get you as help as I can, okay? Just hold on for me.
Okay, man, please.
I know you're scared. I know. Hold on for me because I've got to take other calls. Plus,
Things would only get worse for Debra Stevens less than a minute later.
okay, tell me where you are. Listen to me. Hold on. I'm on the phone with her right now. She is legit freaking out. She said the vehicle is now moving in the water and she doesn't know which way it's going, so stand by. Bye.
The call from Debra's cell phone ended at 5 a.m. when the line went dead. That was the last time anyone had ever heard from Debra Stevens. Just 2 minutes later, emergency services would find Debra's vehicle. However, due to high rushing waters, it would still take some time to get to the SUV. At 5:58 a.m., first responders were finally able to reach Debra's car. But unfortunately, it was too late for Debra. After paramedics attempted CPR, it was determined that she had drowned.
This pole, this power pole over here. Go about 20 feet to the south of the pole, you're going to be all the way off in the trees in the ditch.
Following Debra's tragic death, the Stevens family would receive an outpouring of love from the local community. Those who knew her remembered her fondly. Debra's sister-in-law would tell the TV news magazine Inside Edition,
In those moments, her last moments, she was still Debbie. She was still genuine and sincere and kind and loving and respectful.
she would be laid to rest on September 19, 2019 in Fort Smith, Arkansas. Debra was a member of the East Side Baptist Church, where she taught a Sunday school class full of young children for many years. She did not have any children, but she did love dogs. She had a white poodle named Sammy that she took everywhere with her. The chief of police, Danny Baker, would say of the tragedy, "Probably having another dispatcher in there at the time would have been helpful, but remember, we're talking at 4:30 in the morning, so getting folks down there to assist with dispatch would have been difficult." He also did mention, though, how 911 operators were dealing with quite a bit of calls that morning. In spite of the tragic events, however, Police Chief Baker would also say, "I believe that everything was done that was humanely possible, given the circumstances at that time, to save Miss Stevens' life. I'm terribly sorry that it wasn't possible." Speaking of the 911 operator, what did happen to Donna? Well, in the aftermath of the call, Donna left her position voluntarily, since she had already given her notice 2 weeks ago. It was possible that while Donna was the last person that Debra ever spoke with, Debra was the last person Donna spoke to as a 911 operator. In the aftermath of the tragedy, there has been a public outcry for Donna, the former 911 operator, to face punishment. Police Chief Baker himself acknowledges that she would have faced disciplinary action if she had still worked with the department, but said that he couldn't see anything that would have been cause for termination or criminal investigation. It was, however, also acknowledged by police that the 911 operator police acknowledged that the 911 call sounded callous and uncaring at times. That brings us to something that needs to be addressed. There could be any number of reasons why Donna, the 911 operator, acted in the manner that she did. A busy call center can be a very stressful environment. It's possible that Donna was just burnt, or perhaps it was just a flaw in her personality. Donna was clearly not cut out for the job of a 911 operator, which is something that she was aware of. Though any of these reasons clearly do not excuse the lack of compassion and empathy that she had demonstrated. The thing that we found even more shocking was the fact that clearly Donna was good at her job. At some point, anyway. As of 2018, she was commended by her department's Facebook group for a professional, dedicated, and outstanding dispatcher. The Facebook page was littered with negative comments after the tragic events. Since leaving her position as a 911 operator, some people felt that the former 911 operator should face jail time for the way that she acted on the call. There is, in fact, an online petition with over 38,000 signatures calling for her arrest. Believe it or not, though, some good did actually come out of this horrible tragedy. As reported by the Arkansas Democratic Gazette, there has been a list of suggested changes to the department. These changes include things such as hiring at least 3 supervisors for the 911 call center so that one supervisor may be in the center at any time, especially during severe weather. They encourage operators to take training courses in flash floods and swift water situations. Donna P. would speak to the media shortly after the tragedy. In a phone interview a week before Mrs. Stevens was buried, Donna would say that she regretted telling her she was not going to die most of all. She also regretted not being more kind and understanding. Donna would also realize that she should not have said some of the things that she did, but much of it was necessary to get Debbie's attention so that she could get important information from her. It was a small measure of comfort for the family, but at least Donna had realized what she had done wrong. Thanks so much for joining us today. We really hope that you liked this video. Before we continue, please be sure to like and share this video. As well, please do subscribe to stay up to date with all the great content that we are putting out. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.